And so I just pray that anyone out there who is a singer or who has ever aspired to be a singer or probably was singing and someone told them they didn't sound great at one time, so decided to put music down to remember that gift you have is special and it's important. So please use it. People need to hear it.
Hi guys, welcome to Lizzie 1-to-1. Please don't forget to follow and subscribe to my channel. Now today I have the very talented Thunderstorm Artis. How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Lizzie?
I'm good, thanks. Can I just say, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be on my podcast, because you're a very busy man. I can imagine that there's people inundatedly going in your DMs right now.
Yeah, man, it's been pretty busy, but it was really cool. I was just randomly going through my inbox and found your message in there, and I thought this would be really special and really cool to do. And so I'm happy that I had the time to make it happen.
Thank you. Well, you just mentioned actually you were doing a photo shoot, weren't you?
Yeah, I was doing a photo shoot today and one yesterday. So it's been really cool. Things have been pretty busy, getting ready for things to go back to normal. I can't wait. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
So you've had an interesting few months, haven't you, really? You've been on The Voice USA and you've ended up in the final. I mean, what an incredible few months. How's that been for you? All of that going on, fast paced, I can imagine.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a really crazy few months. I mean, like I'm into The Voice, and then I got through my battle knockout round and also into the finale, and also I got married. So it was just like a lot of really cool things all wrapped into one, but a lot of hard work. You can imagine, man, it's a nice little roller coaster just kind of going on, and you're just rolling with it, not knowing what's coming and what's not. But the whole thing turned out to be a blessing. It was crazy, the ending in there with all the COVID. And we couldn't really be there in person, but getting to do it all and finish the show out, I think was such a blessing that we didn't cancel. So that was really neat.
What was that like, having to adapt to the whole scenario of this? Because no one predicted COVID-19, did they really?
No, man, it was really crazy. I'm having to adapt to it and get ready to pretty much do it all from home. It was just such a surreal difference. I mean, I'm so used to playing shows and you connecting to the audience, but singing to a camera and there's no one on the other side or something like that. It's just really hard to get in the zone for the songs. But I think the beauty in it was that my wife, she was there, and so she helped me shoot everything. She helped me record everything. It just made it so much more special because I was able to kind of direct my attention towards her and the songs. Yeah. And so that made it a little easy, but it did like have so many challenges of that, how to work really hard, but from home. It was definitely something to get used to.
Talking about your wife, how long have you been together now? You and your wife?
We've been together now for 6 months.
Yeah.
We got married 2 months ago. We got married on Good Friday in April. And so super stoked. Couldn't think of a better person to be with.
Well, when you just know, don't you?
Yes, I agree.
Well, my mum and dad, of course, have been together for over 30 years. And I thought I was from a big family, but you're from, because I'm from a family of the 6 of us, but you're from, there's 11. So let's talk about that. Growing up in a family where, are you all musical then? Because obviously you got your brother as well.
Yes. Yeah, we're all musical. I mean, my family of 11 kids, it was definitely amazing experience growing up with all of us. I mean, both of my parents are both musicians and artists. And so they taught us everything we knew about music. And we just grew up playing in this little studio gallery. There was like this really cool house on the North Shore of Hawaii. And we would play music there every day between 11 and 5. And we were all homeschooled. And this is what we did as our daily work. And I can't think of a better way of growing up. I'm still close friends with all of my family members. I'm 24 now. The eldest is 35. And so it's just really cool that we all have this really neat connection. And I was just on the phone with my brother Ron, who you mentioned. I was just on the phone with him a couple of minutes because we're going to go up to Sedona, which is a place in Arizona, and hang out for a little bit. But we're all still really connected, and it's really cool getting to do The Voice and kind of highlighting my family a little bit and the gift that my parents passed down. And so it's been such a blessing to be able to, set a cool mark.
Something that's also important to you, because obviously both your parents are, but your dad's been quite a big influence in your life. So And what did he help you when you decided to go for The Voice? Was he in the back of your mind when you thought, I'm going to go for this?
Well, yeah. So man, yeah, if you watch The Voice, yeah, you've probably heard my pops passed away when I was 13. But yeah, man, like I think he instilled so much in me that to be able to achieve so much more than I'm even capable of. I mean, it's such a blessing to get the opportunity to take a lot of the lessons and the gift that he has given me, and use it on such a great big stage. Um, but yeah, it's been really cool. I was just last night I was just thinking about it as well, just my dad and all the different things that he taught me and my younger siblings. You know, there's things that I learned my younger siblings didn't have the privilege of being there and learning. But I definitely think my father played a big part in everything, but he played bigger than just a voice, but bigger into the man that I am and the man that I've become and the man that I'm becoming. I mean, now being a married man, I start to understand a lot more of the responsibility that the weight my father had on his shoulders and the weight that he carried for us and the example that he was meaning to set. And he set a really good one. So I really hope to continue to make him proud.
I think that's amazing how you are so close, and you seem so educated. And you said that you're homeschooled as well. You can see that they've done a beautiful job with you all and yourself.
Ah, thank you.
No, it is.
Thank you.
Even
Yeah.
even when I was watching The Voice, I was watching all of your performances, and previously, I already was a huge fan of yours. And I'll openly say that. But it's just something you see. You're very authentic, and even when you went on and you performed Blackbird, you could just see that it just oozed from you, and you were connecting, and everyone connected with you. So how come you chose that song? Why is it so important to you?
Ah, man. So like I'm all about honesty. And so this song came about. I was going in for my first audition in a sense of kind of like in front of the producers before the actual show started. And I was singing a couple songs and my good friend was there and he was like, "Hey, have you ever covered Blackbird?" When we were staying in the house together. And I was like, "No, I've never done it." And he's like, "Dude, you might sound really cool doing it." And so I practiced it before our this was like months prior to the blind audition stuff. And so I practiced it and I came up with a cool, like a little version of it. And I was like, wow, this sounds really sweet. And so I went and I played it. And I didn't know whether or not I'd be on The Voice, but I went on to play other shows like around LA and around San Francisco and Denver. And I would end my set with this song. And I think each time I began to play it, it had more meaning. I grew up listening to the Beatles, and the Beatles are just such an amazing, I mean, yeah, they're from the UK, if I remember correctly. So I'm just preaching to the choir here. But I think they just set such a great example of songwriters, and each song had a really special, deep meaning. And that song also relates a little bit to like segregation and different things like that. And just I think it's just that meaning of breaking free, and it kind of like, you know, you're singing in the dead of night, like you're just really hoping to break free and kind of go. And this step for me was a huge step, and so I think it's signified a lot for me. And yeah, getting the chance to perform such a heartfelt song on The Voice, just an acoustic style, meant a lot. And I was happy to bring that. And I didn't expect the reaction from the coaches. Or the world in matter of that.
Four chairs you got.
Yeah, I was expecting like maybe Blake Shelton turn around because he's like, "Oh, some cool stuff you're doing on the guitar."
So he just hears a guitar and is like, "Oh, that's But your guitar playing is insane. It's ridiculous the way you are connected to it." He even said that, didn't he? He said your voice sounds like it's a studio pre-record.
Yeah, they had some crazy things to say. I was like, man.
And then what made you choose John Legend then? When they all spoke, what gravitated you towards him?
Well, man, so when I first heard about the opportunity of me possibly being on The Voice, I was thrilled because I heard John Legend was one of the coaches. And I've grew up listening to John Legend. He's been such an influence in my music, an influence of just an example set of an artist. And so when I heard he was on the show, I went in there with the predetermination in the sense of like, hey, I'm gonna choose him if I get the opportunity. But then when everyone else is, you know, you don't really see a lot of the whole conversation, but he was the first one to kind of ask me about me. Like, okay, who are you? Where are you from? Da-da-da. And we went into it and we kind of talked about it a little bit more. And I just felt it in my gut that I had to choose him. And so I did. And But I do feel like I could have chosen any of the coaches and I would have had an amazing experience with all of them. But it was really cool to work with John for the season that I did. He's such an amazing, tremendous person and artist, and had a lot of great things to say.
What piece of advice did he give you that resonates with you the most, that you've taken with you?
Man, so when I'm singing songs that are a lot higher, in a sense, I tend to be a little more constantly around like in probably level of strength around like 7 and a 10 the entire time. And he was just really talking about the importance of bringing it down to a 2 or 3 and to a whisper, and then like when you can build it up to create that dynamic and that beauty in there. And he also shared a little bit about his past and what it took for him to break into the music industry and things like that. And those are the things that really, him and LMA, who was the mentor they brought in, and they just had some really cool stuff to say. But I think more than anything, I think his example that he set, I think he didn't say anything that he didn't 100% believe. He was very, very committed to whatever you had to say. It was very deliberate that he said it. And I really appreciated that from John, because he'd being around the bush. If you sang something wrong, he told you. If you sang something good, he told you. And that's what you want to hear as an artist.
It's a bit of tough love, but you need that transparency. It's how you're supposed to progress.
Right. And that's the whole reason of being on the show, is to progress, to get better, and to see what you're capable of. And these guys pushed us to be better, and I'm better because of it.
And then Nick ended up taking you on, Nick Jonas. I mean, if you don't know who Nick Jonas is, then where have you been? But he took you under his wings next. And how was that the difference between the coaches and how they coached you, Nick and John?
Oh man, it was a really cool. It was like they weren't like polar opposites or anything, but it was a really different experience. I think with Nick, it was a lot more of a personal experience. With John, it was more focused on, this is a craft, this is the work, this is a song. Let's get into it. Let's make it the best thing possible. Yeah. With Nick, it was a lot more personal. It was really cool just to hear his heart. I mean, I learned so much about Nick that I didn't know going into it. I was like, okay, he's a huge pop star. He's going to be all like, I'm the best thing ever, kind of like go out of the world. But and he was nothing like that. He was probably the most confident but humble man that I've ever met. He just really, really was there and wanted you to feel like you were the center of the attention and that you were the reason for being on that. I was really bummed that I didn't get a chance to work a lot with them in person, but just from the times of interacting with them, and then now through the Zoom when we did the live rounds, it was such a blessing. I mean, he had so many cool advice to offer, so many good things to say. He really helped me with my falsetto, with getting higher notes, kind of like how you saw in the Summertime song. Hit that note that I've never hit before, and so it was really cool. Him and my vocal coach Streylani, they helped push me just to a different level, and it was amazing. And Nick Jonas seems like the kind of person, if I ever work up to get to his level again, really cool to share a stage with them, or even just share a room and talk about stories and life things and what we've been through and what we learned.
Well, of course. I mean, hopefully are you still in contact with each other now, even after?
As of now, man, he's really got a busy schedule and stuff, so we haven't talked since The Voice, but hopefully ever reunite, but we're not exactly sure yet.
Hopefully, well, yeah. And you also performed together, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, we got to do that. You'll Be in My Heart.
Yep, that was that. I mean, what was going through your head as well? Obviously, you can't be next to each other, but you're having in your head, you're like, I'm with him, but I'm not with him.
It was probably the most weird thing. It's really different. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot that I can't really go into just because of like the confidentiality stuff. But yeah, it was definitely a different experience. I mean, I would much rather hands down do a duet standing next to someone. And you just get to feel off their energy and stuff.
Yeah, vibing with each other.
Yeah, but you know what? With all the virus and stuff going on, I think it was the best we could have done. And so
exactly.
I'm really glad to see people really enjoyed it and people really loved it.
Top three finalist. Are they?
Yeah.
And I mean, what was running through your head when you were in the top 3? I mean, look at Jennifer Hudson. She came 7th in American Idol. And look at her career. I can see you've got a career ahead of you where, I mean, I'm like, people don't quite put Grammys. I can just see like your voice and the way you play. And also, if you haven't already, please check out Haunted.
I'm haunted by all the words I never told you. All the things I never showed. Yeah, you looked at my EP.
Yeah, looked at all of that, definitely. The guitar playing. It's how you tell a story through your guitar playing and your lyrics. which is I feel like is a key important thing of a incredible artist.
Yeah, man. I love writing. I've been writing since I was around 13, 14. That's when I got serious into it. And guitar also with that, but I play piano, drums,
Yeah.
percussions, harmonica, and different things. But
Is it Cajon? Is it
yeah,
Cajon?
cajon. Yeah, the
Yeah,
box
that's the
drum.
one.
The cajon.
My brother plays that, but I never know.
Yeah, it's just cajon. I think direct translation is just box drum sound. It's easy. So like, but writing music is definitely a passion of mine. That's why it was such a blessing to be able to perform an original song on The Voice. That was huge, just blessing. That's something that was never done before. So I really appreciated the fact that the Voice production crew allowed us to do that, especially since we had to deal with all the virus things. It's almost like, hey, let's now give you another incentive of how to promote you for after the show, because it's just a platform. So what we're going to do from here is what's going to make it special.
And you had Ryan Tedder produce your song. I mean, he's produced for Lady Gaga, Adele, Beyonce.
And now he's produced for me. That's crazy.
On your CV now, you're like, I had Ryan Tedder.
I can go put that everywhere. I can go put that everywhere. Oh, yes, Ryan Tedder, he produced a song.
Put it on your car as a bumper sticker.
Yeah. I'm
So what was that on my forehead. I mean, look, everyone's doing that. Don't be like everybody else.
Just joking.
No. You got a lovely face. Don't do that.
Oh, thank you. It was definitely a blast, man, to work with Ryan Tedder. I mean, it just spoke volumes, and he had a lot of really good things to say about my songwriting. And so that spoke volumes. I mean, because through this entire show, I've only done cover songs. And so the one shot you have to do one of your original songs to kind of show the world what you sound like, the music you really enjoy. But then to also get good feedback from that just spoke a lot to me. It just, I don't know, I validated the fact that of all the hard work that I put in all the years of practice and the years of writing. And I mean, he even said like to me, like, dude, like out of most songs that like I work with, this is like one of the songs I don't really have to add anything to or take away.
Oh, wow.
He said, and that's not something often. Like, he's like, I've worked with a lot of
people. That's a huge compliment.
He's like, you can ask Nick Jonas. Like, I can hear all these different things, but with this song, he said, I'm just gonna add some cellos and some piano, and then we're set. And so that just spoke volumes to me, and definitely encouraged me and motivated me just to write more. And I just went to check out a recording studio about 3 days ago here in Oregon, and
wonderful.
Hopefully beginning in there next month or the end of this month, and get some songs recorded and get some things out for the world. So I can't wait.
You're blessing us. You are. Because your music's here. It's healing, and your voices, and that wisp, that sound you go when you hit. Beautiful. But you've also traveled a lot, because people, if you do or you don't know, since the age of like 14, and with your brother, you moved around a lot, doing a lot of gigging as well.
Since I was like 15, 16, I toured with my oldest brother. But fun fact, I do travel a lot, and I was going to actually go to the UK, to London, last year. If I didn't do The Voice, I would have been.
They took you away from us.
No, because a lot of artists that I really love come out of the UK area.
Yeah.
And I just really, I mean, you guys have so much good, surreal, like real raw music coming out of the UK right now, and it's just, it's really sweet to see.
I mean, Grime is another one.
Who's that other guy? I want to say Jacob Banks, isn't he from the UK?
Yes, he's really.
Who's that? JP Cooper. I want to say he's from the UK as well. And that's JP
I was surprised he was British, actually, because he looks American to me, but I was surprised.
He does. Until he starts talking, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so it was like really cool, because these are guys like I've listened to and have really helped me shape my sound. And so I was like, I want to go to England and check it out. And I also almost did some mission trip things. It's a thing called YWAM, and I was going to do it in the UK. So hoping to make it out there. The first place I ever traveled to was Germany, so in Europe. That's where my brother's wife is from. But so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that if I'm able to set some cool things up, I'll actually end up making that trip out there
that'd
to see
be brilliant.
You guys in England. That'd be really cool.
So what is the future now of Thunderstorm Artis after this has all happened? Have you got stuff set in place, or are you still trying to soak it all up?
Well, I'm thinking about running for president, because the world is so crazy. Just
to be fair, you know what? I'd vote for you. Whoever you got, the person you got now.
Oh, thank you. No comment. But But yeah, no, I think the next thing is beginning there to record a cool studio. I've been working on a lot of different companies with some cool sponsorship ideas and whatnot. And then once this virus thing cools down, to start setting some tours and get in front of the audience and really just kind of connecting with everyone, and then just continue to just grow it over time. And that would be really sweet. And then I'm also play solo a lot now, just to really captivate the intentionality. But I want to put together like a little three-piece, four-piece band, and just to make the sound a little bit bigger. So that's the idea of the next 2 years. I think I'm going to really cultivate that, working with a cool label and just trying to just put some good music out there. I have a lot of songs that are released like on the EP, but then a lot of songs that you can find on my Instagram that aren't out yet, or you can find clips or videos on YouTube. And so those are the ones I want to get in there and to really record. And so I can't wait to show the world just who I am as an artist even more than what they've seen on The Voice. Like, I just want The Voice to be like a cool stepping stone down to something new. So that's what I'm hoping to do.
Yeah, you can see you got a brighter future, and I hope you're going to put some whistling or rap in there as well.
Yes, I will.
Because you started off rapping as well.
Yes, I did, man. And so it's really cool. I am looking forward to bringing that back around a little bit. I was talking to my wife because she loves it when I rap, and so she was like, "Hey, it'd be really cool if you did a couple songs or even like a little EP of just some rap music that you can put together." And
she's on
like,
it.
Oh,
She's on it. England, we love it here in England. We'll soak that one up as well.
All right.
Also, you've done an Instagram stream, and your wife was singing with you, which I think is so lovely that you're both duetting together. Are you going to do that more in the future?
Yeah, we're actually trying to actually make it happen hour tonight. I'm not exactly entirely sure what time it is for you there in England, but
I think it's 10, coming 10.
Oh, 10 in the morning or 10 at night?
10 at night.
Ouch.
It's past my bedtime.
Ouch. Yeah. So you probably won't be able to see us, but we're going live again tonight. I think we're gonna try to do some cool stuff. It's always fun to sing with her. I mean, it was a dream to be able to be married to someone that I could sing with. And it's always a lot of fun. And so I'm really stoked that you enjoy it. Because sometimes, we get some mixed reviews. Some people are like, "Oh, we just want to hear you sing," and some people really love it. And so I'm like, I enjoy singing with my wife. And so
I'm like, guys, make some room. I know you're for Thunderstorm here, but we need some living in this world right now. We need unity.
Amen. So definitely we're going live, try to do it more often. Now that we took like a week off, a little break just from everything after The Voice. And so now we're just trying to just jump into everything full throttle and just make some smart decisions and try to put on my business hat if I have one, and make some cool steps towards the future.
And you probably won't answer this, but I will ask on behalf of everyone. Have you been signed?
I have not been signed yet. And so, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
There's a lot of independent artists out there that are repping themselves, doing a fantastic job. I mean, look at Marina and the Diamonds. Is that the right one? When she first came out, independent.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it's a good way to do it, because like, man, if you want it more than anyone else, then you can achieve whatever. And so I work with a booking agency. I do. We book shows all around the country and whatnot. And so we're definitely setting up things. But as of now, I'm just going to keep growing and keep pushing. And then if a cool label comes around with a really good offer, then I'm going to jump into it. But I don't want to jump into something that's not going to be in my best interest as an artist, because I want to be genuine. So that's what I really want to allow to come through to my music, and that doesn't get lost. And so...
Do you know, that's really nice to hear that is someone say that, because that is the truth. And if you're not committed and you might lose yourself if people keep putting their opinion on you. That's important to keep that. Yeah,
sometimes you get so many voices around it, you forget what your own sounds like. And so I'm definitely hoping, and that's a lesson from my parents for sure, hoping to keep that genuine and keep the right people around you, keep your circle small, and just make sure that the folks that I will work with are the ones who believe in me and believe in what I want to accomplish.
And I just wanted to ask about how's lockdown and how is it now with all that's going on in America? How are you doing as well with all that?
Man. Yeah, so with lockdown, man, it's been pretty crazy just because of, I am a performer and I'm an independent artist. So most of my income comes through me performing. And so not being able to be in front of people and perform has been pretty crazy. And newly married, telling my wife, she has nothing to worry about. I'm going to take care of you. And then like, hey, no shows. And so it's fun, but we've been making our way. And so it's been really cool. But also with a lot of the new things that's constantly going on that you see all over the news, all the protesting and whatnot. It's been really crazy to see, but I think very necessary. This world is, I'm not sure if you guys deal with any sort of things like that in the UK, but it's something that's been going on in our world for a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everyone's finally trying to say, man, like, hey, you know what? This is a generation that's going to say no more. Like, this is a generation that's going to say enough is enough. And I was talking to my wife, and I was like, man, I don't want my kids growing up in a world where they have to think about the things I had to think about growing up. And that would be a huge blessing. I think we've made enough ground. I think we've said enough times. I think we've dealt with it enough times to overcome this. And so I think it's a beautiful blessing. I went out to one of the marches 2 days ago and kind of just got to see and hear the hearts of the people. I just wanted to be there because I can feel a certain way from my personal just things I've been through, but there's other people who've been through things a lot more rough and tougher than I have. And so that's why I think it's so important for us all to come together. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of things you see on the media that depicts like that everyone's really rioting and looting and breaking things, but it's not really like that. The protests I went to, there was probably zero military or police presence. It was a super peaceful march. Everyone was just really sharing what was on their heart, and it's been really cool to see that it isn't falling on deaf ears. The world is listening, and people are making changes, and that's the beauty. I mean, that's all we can hope for. I mean,
well, they didn't end up charging them until the riots happened. And something where, when I'm not doing this, I'm a youth worker, and I speak to a lot of young people from different backgrounds. That this mentality needs to change.
Yeah, it really does. I didn't know you work with youth. I did that for years back home in Hawaii, and I still do that occasionally. I think it's important.
It's great, isn't it? It is great.
It is.
You learn so much you learn off them. They teach you.
Yeah. They learn from you, man. You learn from them, and you can teach them some really cool things too. I think it's a beauty. I think that's kind of lost in our community, is the sense that, we never really learn from our older generation. And then
very true.
We end up turning and making the same mistakes as our older generation because we don't take the time to listen to what they made, the mistakes they made, and how they overcame them. And so we get caught in this loop where we start doing the same things they did, making the same mistakes, and then our kids grow up and want nothing to do with us, and then they make the same mistakes we made. And I think it's about time that we start to, and even with all the changes going on, where we can really offset the cycle and create something really good. And so I always encourage people to talk to youth. I mean, even when some people feel like, I can't relate to these kids anymore.
It scares some people, and it should scare you, because it's a conversation that needs to be had about certain conversations.
I mean, probably what, 90-80% of the kids nowadays spend probably 90 to 80% of their day on a screen with headphones in, checking out. But a huge percentage of them are dealing with things like depression, and a huge percentage of them are dealing with some heavy stuff that they don't know how to handle, they don't know how to face, and they don't know who they can talk to about it without coming off weak. I mean, especially now that weakness is like you being vulnerable is now depicted a weakness. So kids growing up with that and just loading their hearts full of pride and whatnot, they don't know who they can share to. And I think it's important for us to kind of come alongside as young adults, you and I, but also as a generation, like people like my grandparents that can offer a lot to these kids. I mean, I learned to play chess from older people in my community, and it was the best thing that happened. It taught me so much about life. It taught me how to carry myself. And I still remember the lessons growing up from everyone that I've come encounter with.
See what I mean? I was saying to my mom, I was watching it, and I kept saying he's such a grounded individual, and everything you've said, that it makes sense to why you're so well-rounded as a human being.
Oh man, well, I thank you for saying that I'm so well-rounded. I'm learning a lot, but I think we all have to learn. I think that's the most important thing. I think the moment we think we know everything, we're in for the biggest lesson of our life.
Thank you.
You have to be humble.
Yes. After school, it doesn't end after school, college or uni. Keep learning. But I want to thank you for joining me on today's podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I was going to ask, would you be up for performing a song? Or
of course. Well, since we were talking about some of the voice stuff, Blackbird singing in a dead of night. Take these broken wings wings and learn to fly. And all your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the cold dark night. And blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. And all your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly, say blackbird fly, singing oh to the light. Of the cold dark night.
Wow. Wow. You are incredibly blessed.
Oh, thank you, Lizzie.
And that's another thing I just wanted to say. Thank you so much for sharing your gift. And I know faith is a very important thing to you as well, and carrying that through life. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And I do see, and I don't say this to people for the heck of it. You have a really bright future, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have multiple offers coming your way.
Thank you.
So yes,
thank you. Now I just want to say that just from the fact you're saying that you're super thankful for me sharing my gift. I mean, for anyone else out there who does have a gift in music or whatever, an important thing my parents taught me, especially related to my faith, was that God gives you a gift not for yourself, but a gift that you are meant to share it. You're meant to give it to other people, and that's why you have that gift. It's like if you know the scriptures, like the parable of talents. Don't go and bury your gift in the ground and hide it from the world, and just use it for yourself. And you can use your gift to change the world, and that's what people like the Beatles did. I mean, they revolutionized the world. And so I just pray that anyone out there who is a singer or who has ever aspired to be a singer, or probably was singing and someone told them they didn't sound great at one time, so decided to put music down, to remember that gift you have is special and it's important. So please use it. People need to hear it.
So even great with words. You should put that in a song. That should be.
Someone 2 days ago was like, dude, if music doesn't work out for you, you should become like a show host or somebody, or write a book. And I was like,
you got a speaking voice. You can be poetry. You can go around doing poetry. Rap it as well.
No, that's how I write music. I always write it in poetry first, and then add the melody and stuff to the lyrics and whatnot. So it's important.
I hope you have a lovely time with your brother.
Thank you.
And tell your wife I said hello. I wish you all the best as well.
Thank you, Lizzie. And if I ever make it out to the UK, looking forward to meeting you in person.
You too. I'm definitely buying a ticket. I'm there.
You message me, I'll get you a ticket to there. You get in for free.
Oh my goodness. Dream come true. You don't understand. That was it. That was my plot. No, joking.
That's the whole reason for this.
No, thank you.
Well, anyway, Thunder said if he comes to the UK, I get a ticket for free. The world has heard it.
The world's heard it now. That's it. YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. But yes, thank you. Make sure you check out his EP Haunted and go down, subscribe to your channel. You do have your own, because I always go on The Voices now. I get confused.
Yes, I do have my own, but I don't have much content up there because of when on The Voice, I couldn't release any music or videos or anything. I only started to be a really genuine solo artist within the last 2 years. And so The Voice was in the second year. And so I haven't had a lot of footage out there, but we'll be having more throughout this year. So yes, subscribe to my channel, but also follow me on like Instagram, where you found me, Lizzie. And that's where I mostly post a lot of cool ideas and things I'm coming up with. And that's where I'm more present in there. So
I look forward to that. I feel rude now saying goodbye, and part of me doesn't want to, but I have to let you go.
Yeah, you get to bed.
I know. I need some sleep. Thank you again.
All right. Ciao.
See you later. Bye.
See you later.
Please don't forget to follow and subscribe to my channel. My dog's now trying to intercept this podcast.
Oh, such a cutie.
Say goodbye.